Madam Secretary, will you please take the roll?
Mr. Falgator. Mr. Hurley.
Here.
Mr. Jurich. Mr. Conacher.
Here.
Mr. Lusby.
Here.
Ms. Metzler. Mr. Norris.
Here.
Ms. Prickett. Mr. Zimmerman.
Here.
7 present, 2 absent.
Thank you very much. Next on the agenda is visitors' comments for agenda items only. Seeing none. Move on to our presentation. Physics Fight Team.
So you guys can hear me. Excellent. All right, so this is our annual pilgrimage to talk to you a little bit about physics. This year our competition is in Lund, Sweden. It's going to happen on June 29th to July 7th. So currently these 4 students, and then there were a handful of others that were with us. We even had a 5th grader this year, what was his name? Diego would come over a couple times a week and work with us. So they've been working basically since last September, October. On April 1st, they submitted their work to the selection committee, and the selection committee is actually meeting tonight to finalize who's going to be on the national team. So these students don't know if any of them are being asked to travel to Lund, Sweden yet, but by tomorrow they'll know, so they won't sleep very well tonight. So I'm going to introduce you to the folks as they come up. The first 2 I'm going to introduce you to is I have perhaps the most eclectic combination of physics fighters that we've had so far this year. First up is Bridget Whitfield. I don't know if you've met her before, but she's a really accomplished musician. She was a former all-state clarinet player last year. She's an accomplished dancer. She's an outstanding student. I think she's in our top 10, top 5 of the class, like really special kind of talent. And she's been working with our physics team since she was in 8th grade. So she's been around for a while. Next to her, we have Stowe Wilson. She is a tech student from TCHS. She takes all honors classes when she's at Octorara. And she's kind of an expert in computer programming and web design. So just last week, she won a couple of gold medals for a web design contest. She was working with someone else. She's written a website titled I'm terrible at physics.com. And so how many visitors are we up to? What's that? 1,000 visitors to I'm terrible at physics.com. Next to her, we have Val Wakeman. Val Wakeman is, I think she was captain of the academic team. She's, one of our top students. I think she's also top 5, top 10 in the class. And she worked last year with Lila, one of our students that went to Budapest. So she's working on a problem. These 3 are all juniors. And then on the far right is Caden Chidley. He's a senior. He wrestles, and he's also heading to Villanova in the fall. He's one of our brightest students. I think he's also top 10 in the class. He's been accepted to Villanova, and now he's just figuring out how to pay for it. So if you wanted to divert some of that diesel money his way, he's all about it. So I'm going to turn it over to Bridget and Stowe, and they're going to explain to you a little bit about what their problem is. Okay? What's that? And then tell you what, you explain, you hand out toys.
Hi, so right now, Stowe is handing out Lotto toys or Lotto balls, and they're these things. And as you can all try to get them to, I can't even do it, but get them to basically do this. Go around in a circle, you know, exactly like that, yeah. And so our entire problem was analyzing how that happens and under what circumstances can this happen most efficiently. And so we analyzed four different factors that contributed to this motion. And so the first factor we analyzed was simple harmonic motion, simply the movement of one of these balls back and forth on that string. And then the second factor that we analyzed was drag, so the air molecules hitting the ball as it moves through the air. The third was the collision itself, so what energy is lost, heat, sound, whatever energy is lost in that collision. And then the fourth was the energy added to the system by the motion of your hand, or in our presentation, we had a standardized rig that would add energy in at a standardized frequency that we could manipulate in order to change the, based on the string length, basically analyzing the rate at which energy is being put into the system versus the string length to see what rates of energy coincide with the string length that makes it stable, that makes it stay at that kind of lotto position. And basically, yeah, that's it. So if you guys want to keep trying, if you want to see if you can get the full lotto motion, or if anyone else wants to try as well, that'd be,
15
yeah.
seconds, the best one wins the prize.
You got it. Yep. That's good. I see a lot of,
I don't know about you guys, we used to do this in the 70s, and like we would get injured and they stopped selling them because people, so we actually have a cardboard Ironman sleeve that they wear and safety glasses when they're lottoing so that they can actually protect themselves. All right, so you guys step
yep,
aside.
well, thank you.
Wakeman, do you want to step here? Yeah. You talk, we'll hand out. Here you go. Takes a couple of rulers.
Okay. Being passed out right now is rulers and some ping pong balls. I believe you're going to have to share the rulers, but basically the premise of my problem is that you have two rulers and you can hold your ping pong ball between them close to the ends like that, and when you squeeze it, the ping pong ball shoots out. So you can see, you can kind of try and experiment like basically exactly what we were doing. We're trying to decide what affects the velocity, the speed of the ball as it's exiting. So we investigated like where you pinch the ruler, how hard you pinch it, how fast you pinch it, the friction and the material of the rulers that we're using. And some of them ended up going pretty far and pretty fast. We also found the biggest factors, if you're interested, were how flexible the rulers are and the friction. So if you notice, like if any of you have the cork surfaces, this has a much higher friction than the metal, so you'll get a much faster ping pong ball if you use this side of your ruler.
All right, so can you make it all the way across, you know, like battleship style? So you want to place this close to that end, and then you want to squeeze in there. Yeah.
Pretty good.
This is just Monday in physics.
That was really
So
fun.
Conveniently located directly across from Swanson's room, and she loves it.
All right. Anyway, Mr. Chidley, step in. Ladies, do you want to speak up here?
So my project doesn't really come with any fancy visuals to entertain you guys, but you sort of have one built in. So if you were to flex your arm, right, you have a muscle in your arm called your bicep that when it expands in volume, it contracts in length. Similarly, this muscle, when you fill it with a volume, the netting around it will contract and pull the mass on the bottom up. And we did a couple experiments. One to find the relationship between the pressure on the inside of the balloon and the distance that the netting would contract. One to find the coefficient of like the surface tension on the balloon, and then also we did another one to find the total like pressure difference in relation to the amount of volume we applied. Yeah. Yeah.
That's Kate's favorite part.
Yeah, and that's called hyperextension.
So I promised them that you guys were gonna have awesome questions for them.
I have a question for you all. What's your favorite part of being part of the physics team as you lead up to the competition and all the work that goes in?
So, anyone else can chime in as well. But personally, my favorite part of the physics team is even though we're working individually on like our own projects, there is like this collectiveness of like we're all struggling together for months trying to figure out what are we even doing? Like what are we even trying to find? Yet we all kind of come together individually with our own projects, but we all get to have our own final result and create our own final project that we can submit. And just individually our own problems, yet we're still working together and struggling together as a team to learn new things and build our experience in physics and academically in general. So, anyone else wants to?
I would say my favorite part is how much you do other than physics, because it's called Physics Fight Club, but we end up doing a lot of geometry, especially chemistry, calculus, even like stuff that you just sometimes don't even touch on in school. So I just like the really wide like knowledge base that it kind of provides and all the different experiences in so many different topics and subjects.
So in your studies, any one of you, what's the most surprising thing that you've learned?
So this is actually not about this year's project, but like we mentioned before, last year I helped work with Lila on a project called Quantum Light Dimmer, and we discovered a lot of really interesting stuff about magnets. We were working with magnets and fire, and we learned that even if the fire is not close enough to melt the magnet or even do any visible damage, it changes the magnetic field a lot. Like it makes it drop, and it damages the magnet just by being even close to it. And you don't realize, like, on a quantum level, how much the light particles can affect the magnets, and it seems really counterintuitive, but that was something I was really interested to learn last year.
Do the magnets not regain?
Nope,
After
they just
heat,
continue to decay
they just
once you
lose it.
expose them to heat. Yeah.
Interesting.
And as this board considers helping out with, which I'm certain will be a selection to the national team, and Doc, is something we should probably consider going forward, is we never get a chance to talk to the kids after they come back. Like, how valuable of an experience it was, you know, for them.
So this year, we have never sent an underclassman on the trip. So they've always been seniors.
Yeah,
And then when we come back, they don't want to see me ever again.
yeah,
And then they go off to college.
Yeah.
And getting them to come back from college is a little bit of a challenge.
yeah.
3 of these 4 are actually current juniors. I expect that they're going to be back on campus after going to Sweden if we go, right? So you're definitely going to have that chance.
I just think it's important to understand that return on investment and how just the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, in my opinion.
What I'll say is our three that we took to the test last summer are all having success as physics majors at Penn State, Bucknell, and Princeton.
And I will encourage, hopefully this year will go a little smoother with some of the sides. But one of the great follows of last year was following Doc's Facebook stuff. Different notices we were getting.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking what you were. I kind of like to have just our curiosity of because I could sit back and remember some of the kids that all went there. It's kind of be neat to see where the alumni is at the time, because I know a couple of them where they're at. It's insane right now. And just be neat to have a kind of for even these kids, look where your alumni ended up, like a Hall of Fame, maybe at the Fight Club Hall of Fame or something like that, show exactly where they're at and what they're doing now. So that'd be kinda
Are
neat
you
to
guys
see.
all planning to be physics majors in college?
I am.
No? What are your planned majors, or what are you looking to do with it?
Right now, I'm planning on going into political science for like pre-law, eventually hoping to go to law school.
I want to go for computer science.
Neuroscience.
Thank you guys so much.
All right, bring the stuff back to the fight room. I know we're out. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Moving on, information items. Octorara Homeland Protective Services Academy 2025-2026 calendar. That's provided in the packet, and I'm sure is available on the website somewhere. So presentation of agenda items for the April 22, 2025 regular monthly public meeting. A, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the 2025-2026 Chester County Intermediate Unit Core Services Budget in the amount of $41,280,072. B, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the 2025-2026 Chester County Intermediate Unit Occupational Education Budget in the amount of $34,527,909. If anybody has anything to say, just jump in. C, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the resolution for the proposed final general fund budget for the 2025-2026 school year. D, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the memorandum of understanding between the Octorara Area School District and Kutztown University of Pennsylvania for a dual enrollment program. E, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the legal services consultation agreement with Sweet, Stevens, Katz, and Williams, LLP, for professional training and consultation for special education services during the 2025-2026 school year. F, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the service agreement with Criticare effective June 29, 2025 through June 27, 2026. G, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the request for unpaid family medical leave for Ms. Dana Coulter effective April 28, 2025 through May 12, 2025. Ms. Coulter is a second grade teacher at the Octorara Primary Learning Center. H, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the following policies second reading. 103, discrimination, harassment affecting students. 104, discrimination, harassment affecting staff. 234, pregnant, parenting, married students. 339, uncompensated leave. 824, maintaining professional adult-student boundaries. I, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the following curriculum. Mystery Science, Discover Education, grades K to 5. Open Sci Ed, Carolina Certified Edition, Carolina Biological Supply Company, grades 6 to 8. J, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the Student Activity Club GRIT, Girls Rising Together, Girls Greatness, Resilience, Integrity, Tenacity for boys. Did I say that right? At the Octorara Area High School. K, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the use of the field hockey field from 9 to 10 a.m. on Sunday, May 18, 2025, for a field hockey clinic. L, that the Octorara Board of School Directors accept with regret the resignation of Miss Melissa Finelli for the purpose of retirement as an intervention specialist at the Octorara Intermediate School, effective the end of the 2024-2025 school year. M, that the Octorara Board of School Directors accept the resignation of Miss Joy Schnelly as an instructional assistant at the Octorara Primary Learning Center, effective the end of the 2024-2025 school year. N, that the Octorara Board of School Directors accept with regret the resignation of Mr. Christian Taylor as floating class advisor at the Octorara Area High School, effective June 6, 2025. O, that the Octorara Board of School Directors accept the withdrawal of Taylor Mitchell as an instructional assistant at the Octorara Primary Learning Center in the Student Educational Co-op program. P, that the Octorara Board of School Directors accept the resignation of Mr. Anthony Falgator as a Region 1 Board Director. Q, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve Ms. Jenna Fisher as a learning support teacher at the Octorara Area High School, effective date to be determined, pending completion of employee-related documents required by law in the district. Ms. Fisher's salary will be $58,248 prorated, which is step 17 to max of the bachelor's scale. R, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve Mr. Ryan Degler as a long-term substitute social studies teacher at the Octorara Area Middle School, effective April 8, 2025, through the end of the 2024-2025 school year, pending completion of employee-related documents required by law in the district. Mr. Degler's salary will be $58,248 prorated, which is step 17 to max of the bachelor's scale. S, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve Ms. Karen Boehm as an instructional assistant at the Octorara Elementary School, effective April 7, 2025, pending completion of employee-related documents required by law in the district. Ms. Boehm's rate will be $17 per hour for 5.75 hours per day. T, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the following students for the Student Educational Co-op Program, facilities worker, pending completion of employee-related documents required by law and the district. Their rate will be $15 per hour for up to 4 hours per day for a maximum of 180 days. Zachary Thompson, effective April 3rd, 2025. Sion Brown, effective date to be determined. U, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the following supplemental contract for the 2024-2025 school year. DeAndre Clark, Assistant Boys Track Coach, 6 points at $620 each, total $3,720. V, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the following athletic worker for the 2024-2025 school year. Jesse Rocco, effective March 20, 2025. W, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve Ms. Wanda Lapp as a tutor for the 2024-2025 school year at a rate of $42.33 per hour. X, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the following change in salary due to graduate credits earned. Kyle Wary from Masters Plus 45, $83,699, to Masters Plus 60, $86,556. Step 7 to max. Y, that the Octorara Board of School Directors approve the following volunteer coaches. George Hadfield, middle school baseball, Timothy Lebrano, baseball. All right. Moving on, the next item is the Education Committee report. Education Committee met March 24, 2025 in the middle school hub. We had a handful of agenda items. First was the 7th grade advisory program. Basically, that was explained to us. It's going to be it's not homeroom, but it's going to be first thing in the morning, approximately 45 minutes long. Basically a time for the students to check in with an adult. It's going to be regular and consistent so the kids can have a good start to their day. Next was communities in school, in the high school. An update was given about the high school. We've had an on-site coordinator. At that time, it was approximately 6 weeks, working with approximately 5 students, working on student support groups and possible guest speakers to bring in. And I understand we'll have a summary report on that at some point in the future. Next was the math pilot update. A couple months ago, there was a presentation on the TANG method, or methodology. Now going through something called Think Mathematics. I hope I got that right. The goal is to basically, the goal of this program is to build problem solvers. Presented examples of different videos and assessments in that system, and then a recommendation will be coming to the board in May timeframe. Next, mystery science. We just spoke about that earlier. It's K-5 oriented, coordinates very well with the 6th, 7th, and 8th grades through their CKLA and Open SciEd programs. It's hands-on learning activities, and an example video was presented to the group. Finally, had a report from each building on achievement data. Basically reviewed the MAP data, which is a measure of academic progress, discussed both achievement as where the students are and growth as it pertains year to year. And that was a quick summary of the Education Committee. Any questions? No. All right, moving on. We're going to turn it over to Mr. Jerk for the Facility Committee report.
The Facility Committee met earlier tonight at 6 o'clock in this room. Some of the highlights, we started out with McClure giving a presentation on the summer 2025 project updates and 2026 middle school HVAC project updates, which included the potential 3 options we have for the HVAC, one being traditional, the second one being half traditional, half GEO, and the third one being full GEO. Along with this project, we need to update the electrical infrastructure here. We looked at the cost of the life cycle of all of these systems, which would be the purchase, the operation for 25 and 50 years, and cost savings. The next step for the GEO will be the thermal conductivity testing, and we reviewed some of the well locations that could be used for the wells. Other projects we touched on were the middle school HVAC in the administration offices, the high school auditorium roof upgrades due to leaking, and we ended that with project financials, discussions, and questions. So as far as updates we got from Scott, the Route 41 screening to go out to bid for the softball field prevents foul balls from going on 41. Potentially it could be a combo chain link fence with netting above it, but we also touched on potential alternatives, maybe extending the backstop or even doing the project at all, but that's gonna go out to bid and we'll see some numbers on that. The next update was the track resurfacing. We have vendors coming out for that. Octorara and EI both looked at this project. It's to apply non-permeable coating and do some minimal repairs on the track, which should add another 10 years to that track. Next, we touched on the realignment task list, which everything seems to be going well. No furniture needs to be moved out of the OIS, just some furniture moving around in that building. Very little will have to actually come out of the OES when we move on from that. The middle school still has 5 rooms with asbestos abatement to be done and 9 rooms to be reconverted. We have a new furniture proposal for needed furniture. Moving day is going to start July 1st, and classrooms should be ready the 3rd week of July for teachers to start setting up with that. The other project we touched on was the water tank. the whole scope of the project for the water tank proposal will be basically to replace it due to cracks and leaking. It's in desperate need of repair right now, and that whole scope is $971,000. With that, it would be moving the tank underground. And then we ended on for considerations, the PLC chiller, which is basically down but not completely out right now. It's being band-aided, provides AC for the whole school at the PLC with a replacement cost of $456,000. We're also looking at other quotes, and we discussed other potential avenues since we may be looking at Geo, maybe to put Geo in that building sooner than later. The middle school, the unit ventilators need removal and replacement with RTUs. Frey Lutz has a bid in at $87,468, a CoStar bid, which will be the lowest we get right now. Also, the cafeteria, art room, and special needs need some RTU replacements at $134,364. Point 4 was the middle school classroom furniture proposal we received from Corbett for 14 classrooms to outfit, which came in at $169,196.50, which is worst-case scenario for the furniture. It will most likely be less, but we're looking to move on that pretty quickly. Other items for the board agenda is the new contract with Campus Service Group, which is our nighttime custodial. It's going to be $44,000 less due to the OES not needing cleaning at nighttime anymore. Also renewed contract with BSGI, who does inspection of fire equipment. And lastly, we have to move the diesel fuel depot for 2 reasons. 1, it's out of compliance with DEP, and 2, it is within 25 feet of a cell tower. It has to be removed and relocated. The bid we have in from Ferguson and McCann is for $69,356. And that sums up our facility meeting.
Okay. Next up is other items or concerns. I'll jump in first. Obviously, item P here tonight, that we will officially vote on next week, Mr. Fauchtour's resignation. And as a board, we have to come up with a replacement process. I think we need to have that discussion next week, once the resignation is official. And if that takes effect on April 22nd, our next regular board meeting is on May 19th. That's within our 30-day window. So if whatever the process is, if we have a new appointee on the 19th, obviously that seat is up for election in the fall. It's really just a 5-month, however you count the weeks, but it's about a 5-month term. So I think everybody needs to be prepared to have that discussion next week, not necessarily appoint somebody, but have someone in that seat by mid-May.
I'm just curious, do we know, so obviously with the timing of the resignation, it was after candidates would have submitted petitions to be on the primary ballot. So will this position, obviously it's up for re-election in November, will it be on the primary ballot as well? Like will the community be voting for 2 people in the primary, or is it too soon for that, or do we not really know yet? Wouldn't be on the primary. Okay.
No, but on the general election ballot will have vote for 2, and there'll be 2 candidates. That's why I think, obviously, the common sense thing is to appoint Mike Hoffman, who will be on the ballot, and barring some unbelievable thing where writing beats somebody on the ballot itself, either Hillary or Mike, to me, it makes sense just, to consider Mike, if he's willing to serve, for that brief appointment, because for one, it gets him, get his feet wet earlier, he can finish up some of the budget process, just sort of makes sense.
Yeah, I think we have further discussion next week. Good. Okay.
I had one.
Oh, go ahead.
So I had written to you over the weekend about the proposal from Chris DeFazio doing a State of the District report. We have not done an annual report in 2 years, and I think it would be good for us to consider. We had asked Beth Trapani to do that, and she just has not gotten to it this year. And we had collected some data at the beginning of the year, and it just hasn't gotten done. So I see this as, there's a couple reasons why I think we want to do this. One, our community deserves to kind of understand the state of the district, because I think in many regards, we have a lot of things that we can really be proud of. But we also have people who are trying to decide whether they want to come to school here or somewhere else. And we want to highlight our programs. We want to highlight the things that we do that we think are outstanding. I'm thinking of our CTE program, which is something that most people can't match what we do in that program. Physics Fight Club. You know, what are the things that are unique to our district? And so I would ask the board to consider contracting with the IU to help us generate something that is really unique. It's what I asked for was something different than what everybody else has, and so that's why she put some video components in, and really wanting to look at kind of a broader view of what we do, so that we can post it electronically, we can have some video, and something that we can share with the community in a broader sense.
My only thought to that was maybe more clarity around the contract that we have with Beth Trapani, and we asked her to do it, and she never got around to it. That, just how you explain that is a little concerning to me, so maybe I'd like to understand more about that.
Beth spent a lot of time trying to get our community to come out for focus groups, and she had mixed success with that. She has a project that is sort of similar that Mark is asking her, Mark Patika, Director of CTE, is asking her to do a focus on our CTE programs. So we only pay Beth as she does the work. So in speaking to her this week, today, there's about $10,000 that we haven't utilized in that agreement contract that we signed with her. She's asking if we can divert that over into some work on the career and technology education, which is a possibility, but I don't have a proposal from her on that. This CCIU look is really district-wide and looking at our program. So we kind of have two competing things that are doing a similar thing, but this is what I think we need to do. We need to communicate with our community about what we're doing well. We are in a competition with other people. Public school administrators don't like to admit that, but we have 200 students that are in charter schools. And they all have reasons why they do that, but part of what we would like to do is to see how we can communicate with our community about what we have to offer and what impact that has. So at the $18,000 a student who's going to a charter school, $50,000 if they're special education, to expend a little bit of money in this area, I think is probably prudent for us.
Okay, we'll move,
Are you asking for that to be on the agenda next week, or what is your?
I guess my question is, would you like to know more about it? Because we could do a presentation with Chris DeFazio would come and do a presentation if we wanted. Thing is, if we wait too long, we'll have missed the window of opportunity because she needs to spend time with our people while they're here. So my level of comfort with the project is pretty good, but I can't assume that having not seen it and only seeing a proposal that the board may or may not be there. So I'm curious what you would like to see.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the presentation that you included. My initial concern is, you know, are we paying somebody else to be doing, and so you clarified that. So, I mean, I wouldn't have issue if we wanted to move it to the agenda.
Would you like Chris to come and do a brief presentation on what it is that she's going to be doing? Not necessary? Okay. Okay. We will put it on for a vote next week.
Okay, moving on, we have visitors' comments in general. Okay. Thanks for being here. Moving on, administrator comments or announcements.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank International Paper of Akron. I received a phone call from their community outreach person, I guess, and they said, by any chance, do you want butterfly kits? And I said, well, yes, we do. We're studying butterflies in the next month. So it was great timing that she reached out to us. So our second graders, each classroom received a butterfly kit, and it coincided perfectly with our CKLA insect unit. So the butterflies started emerging from their chrysalis last Friday. I used the word hatched. I was promptly scolded by the kids. They're emerging, Mrs. Lees. Okay, sorry, clarified. This Wednesday, the 16th, is the K-6 art show from 6 to 8. It will be held for all grade levels at the OPLC this year. And finally, I just want to thank our friends at Garnet Valley. About a month ago, the kindergarten teachers were able to go to Garnet Valley and observe their kindergarten teams and talk with their teachers about purposeful play and how they implemented purposeful play into their curriculum. And then last week, Garnet Valley teachers came and they visited our classrooms from K to 6, and they will be implementing CKLA next year. So they wanted to see our program in action and talk with our teachers and get feedback about our implementation successes and how we navigated challenges. So it was just a great collaboration and working with another school and seeing, just how we can work together to achieve success. So, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. First, I just wanted to thank the board for the opportunity to share about the advisory program at the educational committee meeting. And I look forward to sharing more information about the middle school model. I think it's a model that definitely serves the needs of children at this age. And so I appreciate the board's support on that. But in the spirit of the Fight Club and some conversations I had with some middle school parents recently, when their child comes home, what do you do today? And the answer is always nothing. I just thought, just share a couple of the things that I saw today. And the Physics Fight Club students and their curiosity is amazing, right? And that's really the goal, beyond anything else, is for our children to have interests and be curious, from an educational perspective. So tomorrow will be a trip for, tomorrow and Wednesday actually, one of them is a makeup trip to the Chester County watershed. So our children are going to be experiencing firsthand, and some students have already gone on this trip, so it's been over a series of a couple weeks now. Opportunities to, immerse themselves in the water and to take samples and to look for bacteria and for different life forms and things like that. So it's a pretty cool science experiment opportunity for them. So that's something that your children will be doing if you're in 7th and 8th grade. Had an opportunity, I spent some time in our technical education, which is the woodshop class, and watching the students today, independently sanding with supervision for sure, but sanding and, cutting decorative shapes into the wood and putting together the boxes and using the sawdust with the glue to make wood filler. It was really, really inspiring to see. And one young lady is actually making, she's in 8th grade, she's making her family an entertainment center, which is so cool, I think, right? I remember, I brought home, a little ashtray, I think, when I was in middle school, right? And so it was just amazing to hear. And then it was also interesting to think how we used to actually make ashtrays for our families, right? I spent time in a music class today, and they're using an online application, a series of them actually, to tell a story using sound effects, some narration, some music. It was really interesting to see. The kids were loving it. They were really happy and proud to share what they created. We're enjoying, different genres of music as they sampled them to see what might fit best with their story. History class, talking about the Jamestown settlement. I think that's something we all discussed at one point in time during our schooling, but it was interesting to see the dialogue and the children interacting in that conversation, which was really great. Algebra class in 8th grade. They had a big celebration. It was a curricular pacing milestone for them as they prepare for the upcoming keystones. So the children were really excited about how far they've gotten in the curriculum and how well prepared they feel as though they are. In another math class, the students were working on systems of equations, which was, the train leaves Chicago at this time and another train leaves at Pittsburgh, and those types of equations that we remember. So there's a lot of great things happening in all the grades, for your children here at Octorara, and I just thought I'd share a few of those experiences just from today. So when they tell you when they come home today that nothing happened, they did nothing, know that there was a lot that happened. So thank you for the opportunity. Oh, I'm sorry. I also wrote down PSSAs. I can't leave that out. Thank you. So April 23rd. We're off from school next Monday. We will come back to school on Tuesday. Then that Wednesday, the PSSAs begin for all 7th and 8th grade students, the first good portion of the day. And then the faculty has come together and they've designed and planned really fun activities for each of the 6 days. So this will run through May 1st. It will begin that Wednesday, the 23rd, and run through May 1st. It's a rigorous assessment. We want our children and your children to work hard and try their best, but it's going to be exhausting at the end. And so some opportunity to relieve some of that stress from the test, to get out and do some moving around and to explore things that are of interest to them. The teachers are planning some really, wonderful opportunities for the students each day afterwards. So thank you for that reminder, and that begins next Wednesday. Thanks.
Thanks, Dr. Perry. So at the high school, you know that the next 30 days or so are some of the busiest of times at the high school, and it begins with our senior class meeting tomorrow. We have a mandatory senior class meeting, which I will be giving the seniors their packet of information as they prepare for graduation, all the things they need to know between now and the end. So we have just a ton of events that take place between now and then, from prom tickets going on sale in a couple of weeks, to a blood drive, to the senior art show. And then we also mix all that fun testing in the middle, AP testing, Keystone exams. I want to point out that you all are invited to the Academic Honors Dinner on May 15th. So I want to make sure that the board knows that you're welcome to come to that. Obviously, it's going to be a fantastic meal prepared by our culinary students, as it always is, but you're certainly invited to that. May 17th is OA Best. I think Mark Matika would be appreciative that I'm plugging that. That's certainly a very big culminating event for our CTE programs amongst all the other things that we do at Octorara. And that takes us right up to the fun things of prom and graduation, which, again, you're certainly invited to, and hope that they're going to participate in the ceremony. So we have a lot of things happening, and I'll be talking probably more about them over the next couple of board meetings. So thank you very much.
Just a couple of comments. One, we have Melissa Finelli that has put in her resignation for retirement. This is one of those long-standing employees that's been here a very long time, and we're grateful for her years of service and for her dedication to our students. I also want to acknowledge Mr. Falgator, who has stepped aside, his years of service on the board, and thank him for that. Board members, it is the spring, and we do lunch at our buildings as a part of teacher appreciation. And I know that you're all very busy, but if I'll send some dates to you, and if you're ever around, come sit down, have a burger or a hot dog, and sit with our faculty and talk with them. First one starts off this week, right, Dr. Proper, on Wednesday? Yeah. So yeah, if you can come and enjoy our faculty, that would be fantastic. There's so many stories. Dr. Proper, Dr. Perry, Miss Lease. You know, we have a student that is graduating that is, I think the day after graduation, will go and take her real estate's license test. And this is something new that Mr. Patika pursued because a student was interested in pursuing it. And our vision is that we will empower students to build successful futures. And this is a student who wanted a real estate license, and you have to be graduated. You have to have a diploma in order to take the test. There's actually two tests. There's a county test and there's a state test. So she will have done the county test, and she'll be all ready for the real estate test as soon as graduation is done. Mr. Patika says he has 4 more students next year that would like to also graduate with their real estate licenses. And so I just think it's a really neat thing that this is a district that will pursue things for students because it's something they're interested in. And if we can make it happen, we do. So congratulations to Mr. Patika for the work that he does, and for our students that do kind of extraordinary things. And we sometimes get to hear about them.
All right, thanks, everyone. Next is board comments. Any board comments? Okay. I will announce the following meetings. Facility Committee meeting, Monday, April 14, 2025, 6 p.m. in the middle school multi-purpose room. We will have an executive session for legal and security, Monday, April 14, 2025, after the work session in room 102 of the middle school. Policy and Finance Committee meetings, Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025, 6 p.m. in the middle school multi-purpose room. Next regularly scheduled board meeting, Tuesday, April 22, 2025, 7 p.m. in the middle school multi-purpose room. Education Committee meeting, Monday, April 28, 2025, 6 p.m. in the middle school hub. And with that, we need a motion to adjourn. Adjourn. Thank you very much.